All right, English A class. This is the 15th of April, and I got a assignment for you guys that I'm kind of excited about. We'll see how it goes. Um, and this might be a longer video, and the reason for that is that Miss Page has a class at the same time that I got you guys today. And since I talked to you yesterday, and I'm going to talk to you tomorrow, today I needed to give in a little bit and share. So here goes. So you're just gonna get the video, and I'll try to be online to like answer some questions when on Teams. That does mean that, sometimes maybe my answer is a bit delayed, but I'll do my best, and I promise that. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you the assignments that are due at the for this final unit for the Crucible. I'm going to tell you the goal for one of the assignments and give you an introduction to the one that we're going to work on today and get started on. Um, I'll give you the rules for that assignment and what it's going to look like. And then I'll tell you like the plan for turning things in. And so we're going to go through all that stuff. So first, the assignments that are going to be due at the end of this unit are we're going to do a final analysis with the Crucible that we read, and we're going to be relating that to the real world. And you're going to have to pin a news source, something that happened, together with this. That assignment will come once we finished the play. That assignment will be for criterias A and criteria D. So you're going to have to analyze, and you're going to have to use professional language to get that thing across and get some quotes and stuff in there. That one's the final one, though. That's not the assignment that we're going to be starting today. The assignment that we're starting today is the creative assignment, which is going to be for criteria B and criteria C. And this assignment is, I'm kind of excited about it. I'm going to do a big mystery writing competition here. Since I can't guarantee that we're all going to be together when this unit is taking place, I kind of had to shift my units around a little bit and give you guys something. But I got the B class reading the Crucible as well. So I was like, man, let's just make this one big competition and see what we have going on. You guys are going to have the same regulations, the same rules for writing. Everybody's going to get kind of like the basic outline, and then it's going to be up to you to make something creative out of it. It'll be A and B class, and we'll see if we can get a winner. I'll choose my top stories from the two classes, and I'll pass that off to a couple other teachers, and we'll see if we can get an overall winner on this thing and try to get some kind of an award for somebody for being the best writer here. That's a little bit bigger than just a quick lunch, since it is everybody and it's a summative task. So that's those are like the two assignments that we got going on. The goal, now I'm on that number 2. The goal and the reason why we're doing this is basically like if somebody forces you to use different vocabulary when you're learning a language or working with a language at all, if somebody like puts you in a difficult situation, something you normally wouldn't be writing, it makes you look stuff up in the thesaurus. It makes you whichever thesaurus you like best. It makes you look stuff up. It also makes you like check different websites, different things, and thus your vocabulary just grows because you're working with it, and that helps you remember stuff, helps you remember new and different words. The more you write, the better your writing becomes. So yeah, I'm making you write something, and I'm making something you may not have already. The other thing we got to think about is organization here, which is a big one for me. You guys, I get a lot of stories, especially from you, that just rush through things. It's like a start and a finish all in one quick note. And nobody really takes the time to build up a plot line or build up a suspense a little bit. And that takes a little bit more planning and a little bit more maturity to get that kind of thing done, to be able to know what's going to happen at the end of the story and not jump right to it and not jump from thing to thing to thing to thing and then finish and don't really understand what's going on. So um, you're also going to have to be like thinking more structurally on this one to construct a story all the way through. So that those are the big goals that I'm getting out of this thing. And if you want to talk like criteria B and criteria C, what I'm looking for here is a really creative story that you put a lot of effort into would give you that kind of criteria C. You know, you got good word choice, good vocabulary. But then I put the organization as your summative grade on this one because I want you to tell a story that's not totally scattered and all over the place. You might remember the verisimilitude stories at the beginning of the year. You know, they jumped around a lot. And I'm looking for you guys to do something a bit more mature on this one and make a mystery story that actually like builds suspense and grows throughout the whole thing that you can get behind a little bit. So yeah, that's the main goal for me giving you this assignment and what I'm hoping you learn out of it, right? So what exactly is the assignment now? Now we're on that third thing. This is you have to write a mystery story, something that's suspenseful, and and ultimately, you know, you can have an ending on it, or you could leave it as a cliffhanger if you want to as well to keep it suspenseful. It's going to be up to you as the author. The nuts and bolts on it are it's going to be about 5 to 10 pages long. However, you're not going to write any description. It's only going to be kind of like the Crucible, where it's just people speaking. You can have like a small stage direction, like you see in the Crucible, where it says where we're starting or something, but nothing more than that. No descriptions on what people look like. Nothing else. The setting for this mystery story that everybody's going to have to do is it's a school in quarantine. So everybody's in their own separate houses, and basically they're writing to each other over some kind of online platform. So like Teams or ManageBack or some kind of messaging system that's out there. And the only thing that you can turn in your mystery story are these text message lines back and forth with who's saying it and who's typing it, and getting that whole thing together about what's going on. Basically, um, kind of like it's a new version of a movie script or a play, and you're going to need to do it that way. So it's a school in quarantine, and basically something mysterious is happening, whether it's students disappearing, um, a teacher disappearing, money disappearing, uh, random things making noises in the night, whatever it is. You need to come up with a creative thing that's something's happening that's a problem, and people are all talking about it together. Uh, the other rule that I have is that somebody who is in that chat group is responsible for the problem, whether it's a death or somebody stealing something. Somebody in that group is going to be the person who did it. Now, you got to basically tell the whole story by just dialogue back and forth in text messages. And that's kind of like my biggest rules for this thing that I want to see coming out of it. Uh, what you need to, what a good mystery will have will your typing and your dialogues. I mean, I'm calling them a dialogue. It's really like a text back and forth. It needs to show people's personalities, whether they're silly or whether they're very serious or whether they're kind of evil sounding. You need to be able to show that through the word choice, right? Uh, the other thing is you need to be organized and you need to build suspense throughout the writing, right? And you got to have some advanced vocabulary in there. Looking for 5 to 10 pages on this, but although that sounds like a lot, you know, you're looking like a script, so it goes a little faster. I think 5 to 10 is achievable. Never done this before, so you guys can talk to me about that once you get started writing it. and we can keep that thing going. My other rule is you can work with somebody else, but only one other person, and only if you want to. You can be by yourself, or you can be with a pair, but you don't have to be. So that's how it'll go. And if you're working with a partner, just put both your names on the different things that you got to turn in, and put it in the Dropbox, and I'll be happy. That's how that goes. I think I'm hitting all the big things here in my notes that I wrote down for you guys. Uh, you could make it your class. You could do that, and you could give people voices and stuff. I want you guys to be mature and make sure it's okay that you use somebody else in your script, and get their personality in there. If you do that, you're going to need to be nice. Like, you can't make anybody, you know, silly and stupid and then totally bully them and turn this thing in. So, but you could just make it your class if you want to, or you could invent a totally fictional one and just pretend like the FBI is investigating something that happened, and they found all these old chat room messages, and this is what they're reading. So you can look at that. Okay, so my last thing that I'm going to say right now is the plan and what's coming up for this. This is a final task. It's a summative task that's going to be due weeks from now, and it's also going to be something that I'm checking in with you guys on throughout. So next Tuesday, I put an assignment on there, where you got to have a pitch that's due. So I want to see that you have an idea, basically, like what your big mystery is, what happened, who you're working with, what kind of characters are you going to have in the story, and that kind of general stuff. Writing me a small paragraph saying why it's interesting and putting that in the Dropbox. And I put that for Tuesday, which I think is an appropriate deadline, unless you guys got a lot of other stuff going on, and send me an email if you do. Thinking next Friday. I haven't made a Dropbox for it yet because I want to see how the pitch goes. You're going to have an outline and a plan for your story, like what's going to happen first, second, third, throughout the whole thing, so that you know how to build a little bit of suspense. And I can give you some quick feedback on those two things. Then you're going to turn in a rough draft, and then you'll turn in the final draft. And I haven't put a final due date on these things because just going to keep checking in with you and see how it's going. The only thing that is a due date right now is the pitch that's due on Tuesday, that I'd like to see from you guys. Generally speaking, we're looking at a few weeks for this. I mean, it's a summative task, so kind of looking at the beginning of May, for something like this to come in, and maybe a little bit into May, and that'll be the big finish on it. So yeah, this is what we got going on right now. And like I said, this is a long video, but told you guys about your two summative tasks, and then gave you one of them in detail because we're going to start it right now. We're going to see what we got going on. These are the last two summative tasks that you're going to see this year for Criteria, which is pretty amazing. You know, we're getting near the end. Told you the goal of it, told you the rough rules and regulations on what you got to follow, and then finally gave you the plan. I'm going to jump off this video right now. It's getting to be about 14 minutes long. You guys send me a message, and I'll try to respond. I'll be chasing a kid around with his cars, so I'll do my best to be on top of it. And then tomorrow I'll talk to you guys about the Crucible and how that thing started, and we'll get a little. I'll ask you guys some questions and see if you can turn some stuff into me. I haven't really figured out how we're going to do that yet, but we'll see. So yeah, hope you guys are great. Good luck with it, and we'll talk real soon. Please watch this video in its entirety. I will send that in a message, and talk to you soon. Bye.